In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make a big sounding mix like this. Now in this video, I make a Midwestern rock sort of beat. And it's not exactly like what I'm known for, which is pop punk and pop rock, but the main concepts are there. There's a couple key differences, like the way I mix the bass, but I actually think it's a little more beneficial to learn how to mix bass the way I teach you for this beat. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, welcome. This is 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘, and I made some riffs and some weird tunings on, well, weird tunings for me because I usually play on standard, in some like Midwestern emo tunings. And one of them is like this. That's one of the little riffs I made. So let's just record it. You know what? I might actually do two of them. There. Now, I'm grouping these, but I don't normally group stuff in beats because when you export the stems, it exports the groups and the individual layers, so there's like a bunch of duplicate layers, and it gets kind of confusing for people. But for now, I'm just gonna make a group. It's much easier. I don't know if I plan on releasing this beat, so I'll just use groups and hope for the best. And right here, we're gonna kick in with some overdrive stuff. For overdrive, I'm sure you already know, I used Andy James. I'm not even sure if I got the name right. I never do. Andy James. Okay, I was right. It's nice and crisp. I really like this amp sim. I'm gonna play slightly different notes on the second, like on the right side, just so it's a little bit different. With these amps especially, or this one at least, there's a lot of crunch, so I gotta get rid of that. So subtractive EQ is finding, basically I'll show you. Subtractive EQ is getting a very high Q. I don't actually know what Q stands for, and it's just sweeping through the frequency range to find frequencies you don't like and then lowering them. Yeah. I like that. And then on top of that, I'll just throw some different, I don't think I've ever used this. Might have maybe a couple times. Just throw some lead lines over it, just see if we can do, I'm not sure if it'll work, but that's kind of what music creation is. You just do stuff and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sure. Cool. Sounds great. Now I have some pretty big bass amps in this little plugin called 𝗕𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗘 amplification. Here it is. So let's see what we can do with it. Pretty muddy. All right, let's do it. All right, so I want to compress the bass because it doesn't sound. I want it to sound a little more artificial, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like I just want it to sound very overcompressed. I also want it to be wide, which is interesting because people tell you not to widen your bass. I say, do it if you want. It's going to be hard to do, to make sound great, but sometimes you can actually make something sound really nice with a wide bass. I'd even go far enough as to say, put a chorus on it. But the only thing I will say is, to make it not as muddy, I would throw the auto filter in a group. I'm not sure how you do this on any other DAW, but I think it's parallel compression or parallel processing. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm not too sure. So we're gonna have we're gonna have a dry signal. And then we're going to have a signal where the auto filter is cut at, like, I don't know, it's all gone by about 100. And then this can widen, right? And then next, we're going to throw an auto filter on again on the second channel, or second processing. I don't know how this stuff, the terminology, I have no idea. Also, you're looking at a fan a little bit. Maybe I'll move you a little bit. There. On the other channel, we're going to keep the subs. There, now it's fat. And it's wide. And it works. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah. Cool. And to make it even fatter, now this might be a bit too much. You can throw Renaissance bass on there. Let's see what happens. It might be a little too fat, not gonna lie. That's nice. Fits really nice in the mix. All right. Now this video is called How to Get a Big Mix, or big, I don't know what I called it, the big guitar sound or whatever. It depends really on the song, obviously, like no duh. But this amp, for like over compressed, just like crunchy rock, this amp is fine on its own. If I was to do something like the pop punk stuff, you've seen me do, I would throw maybe 2 or 3 different layers of guitars with different amps onto each other and compress it. And typically I'd compress it with Renaissance X, or actually this 𝗕𝗘𝗠𝗘 is really good too. 𝗕𝗘𝗠𝗘 is it looks like this. That's 𝗕𝗘𝗠𝗘. It's really good. I use it constantly, probably in every single beat I make. So now that we've got guitar, little high layers on here. In this case, I didn't throw any reverb or anything on it. Just keeps it like really firm. Typically, I do add reverb on the like pop punk stuff. This is more of a Midwestern emo thing. Actually, it's not really. It's more like a Midwest emo rock sort of thing. And for the bass, this is something I don't do a lot of the time, but it's really useful if you want just a surrounding bass instead of like a Blink-182 kind of bass. And I'd still even cut out a bit more. Like that. And of course, we don't know exactly how everything sounds until we add drums. So we're going to throw drums in there. I've said this time and time again, the only drums I use nowadays, I used to use a bunch of different ones, but the only drums I use nowadays is Superior Drummer, and it's honestly, it's perfect. I've never needed any other drums. So I threw a chorus groove on there, and now since everything is it starts on the beat before, not the beat before, the and before. It doesn't just start on the it goes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna move that a little bit, and I'm actually gonna take these beats out and move these beats over. Maybe I'll do that for most of them on the one. Yeah, right there. Usually I have to turn Superior Drummer up, but honestly it sounds really good right now. I don't even think it's peaking. No, beautiful. So sometimes I add highs, a little bit of high, not that much. As much. And then I like to just draw in my own little, what are they called? They're not, oh, fills, that's what they're called. Make sure you adjust the velocity when you're doing your drums so it doesn't sound completely robotic. There we go. Main key takeaway points is that bass. The way I mix that bass is really important to how big and wide the mix sounds. So don't be afraid of widening your bass, just be sure you're safe with it. For example, like cut your lows. You don't want your lows to be wide or it'll just be muddy, right? So what I've done is I specify the lows. This is my lows, and it's going through something that makes it fat. It's not going through something that makes it wide. And then the highs of the bass right here are going through something that makes it wide. Therefore, the lows are not wide, doesn't make it muddy. The highs are wide, makes it nice and wide. Like before the bass, it sounds like this. It's just way too much bass, way too muddy, way too subby. So make sure you mix it well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make this a beat because it sounds actually really, really good. Hope you learned something, especially that little bass thing. I really do like that bass thing. I'm gonna talk about it forever. I'll die on that hill. I love that bass mix. I love mixing bass make it sound like that. You get the fucking point. All right. Bye.